Hello there, my name's Alan and welcome to my very first ever video blog. Over the next few weeks and months I hope to bring you highlights of my cabin cruiser adventure, which all began back in November 2018 when I purchased this 18-foot Relcraft Cabin Cruiser. Last year I was fortunate to be able to retire, and I thought it would be a good idea to do a series of walks in order to blow the cobwebs away, a bit of fresh air, and keep the weight down. So on one Wednesday waddle, my wife and I were walking down the Trent and Mersey Canal and then went around the upper Trent. It was a beautiful day and I was able to take some photographs of the wildlife, and it just looked really inviting. There were one or two people out on their cabin cruisers, and it kind of inspired me to maybe have a look to see if there was something that I could do in my retirement. I had actually seen online on Facebook an advertisement for a small cabin cruiser which didn't seem to be that much money, and so I made arrangements to come and have a look at the Shardlow Marina. So I hope you will enjoy the vlogs that I'm putting together, and if you do, then please would you give me a like, and would you please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it does mean that eventually I might be able to get on Strictly Come Dancing. Who knows? Well, maybe not. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, so these pictures, some of which were taken from the original sales particulars that I managed to find online, and some are pictures that were taken on the day that I went to look at the swamp duck for the very first time. As you can see, she was in a bit of a sorry state, very dirty, and a lot of the equipment looked as though it needed a good overhaul. However, my first impressions were that as far as I could see, she was watertight, and the lady that sold me the boat was able to demonstrate a history of the engine having been serviced during the year. So I felt that those were the most important things, and the rest seemed to be cosmetic. So during this vlog, I would like to demonstrate to you how the swamp duck has been completely refurbished over 2 or 3 months, and the work that was involved. The swamp duck was built in 1973, and it's powered by a Mariner 25 horsepower outboard engine which was built in 1984. Although she's watertight and the engine's serviced, the inside of the cuddy was very dark, tired and damp. But I needed to get her ship shape enough to take her out on 2 very blustery days on the 29th and 30th of November, so I could do my RYA helmsman's certificate. So I had to very quickly put a few safety features in. I put in a carbon monoxide detector. I added some mains electricity so that I could do some work on her when she was in the marina. I replaced the very outdated first aid kit. For the helmsman's course, I spent ages practicing the knots and things like that. It was 2 good days out on the canal. My first restoration job was to tackle the ingress of water which was from the roof as a result of badly fitted handrails and overzealous, screw-happy previous owners, and a flat roof hatch which by its construction acted as a leaky swimming pool. In order to get to the roof, I had to reluctantly remove the roof timbers, and to my horror I discovered just how damp and rotten they were. Still worse, the roof was lined with that 20th century marvel polystyrene tiles. It also gave me my first glimpse of the haphazard and downright dangerous wiring that had been going on. So I had to set to and discover my fiberglassing skills, which I didn't know I had, in order to deal with all the holes and completely make and replace the hatch with a slope. The cuddy has now been relined with a fire retardant insulating membrane and covered with a white faux leather. When I set out restoring the boat, I tried to salvage as much of the old woodwork as I could, so the blue bands on the ceiling were cut from the original wood. But my biggest shock, pardon the pun, was the state of the electrics. 12-volt circuit, all wired incorrectly with domestic 240-volt wires, and it looked as though there'd been a fire going on behind the control panel. So I had to rewire the entire boat. It now has a 12-volt DC circuit and a 240-volt AC circuit, so it can be hooked up to the mains when it's moored. It has new safety features such as the monoxide detectors and firefighting equipment. I've had to renew many items: life jackets, air vents, bilge pump, flooring, radios, and the canopy is brand new and probably my biggest expense. I guess my work will never be quite done, as there's always little improvements that can be made, but essentially the swamp duck is now shipshape and Bristol fashion and is regularly out on the water. I didn't want the swamp duck just to become a DIY project, so during the time that I was restoring her, I did manage to take her out on at least 9 occasions. So here are a few photographs of the trips out.